Hello everyone, thank you for joining us in a brand new video. Today, we have the exciting unboxing of the HONOR X7c. So let's go ahead and get started. Pay very close attention because this is an entry-level model from HONOR. However, its official pricing is very high. Luckily, Amazon has many distributors often offering big discounts, making the device more appealing. At the time of recording this video in the HONOR store, it is priced at 5,999 pesos. On the screen, you see the reference price in dollars to give you more or less an idea. But consider, for example, that on Amazon, it is priced at less than 3,000 Mexican pesos. So the difference is abysmal between one distributor and another. So I insist, look well in which store you're going to buy it so you can find it at a much more competitive price, because at the launch price, I advance you that it would not be very advisable. Fortunately, in this case, the manufacturer includes several gifts. In some occasions, they may give you a speaker. In other occasions, they may give you headphones, or in other occasions, it may not include a gift. Obviously, if you don't include the gift, it should be the cheapest distributor option, but verify with each store. In the description, I've left a link to the official HONOR store if you want to buy directly. Now, how about we unbox this device, including your gift? So take note that the box arrives here, and separately the headphones come, which this time are included as a gift. These are the HONOR Choice Earbuds X7. I believe these headphones are basic, yet they complement your purchase nicely as a gift for immediate enjoyment. I love this experience. Manufacturers used to include wired headphones with the device, and now finding this gift perfectly complements the purchase. However, we're not going to concentrate too heavily on the headphones. Instead, our focus will be directly on the device to learn about its specifications. Therefore, before we delve into the device's specifications, let's take a look at what's included in the box. Right here, we have a small piece of paper, the usual quick start guide. Then, we proceed directly to the device itself, which is inside this little bag. Let's take it out, and here, the manufacturer is already highlighting some of the main or most attractive features of this device. We'll remove this film and then quickly look at those specs. We'll turn the device on, and while it's powering up, we'll see what else is in the box, where we'll find a pretty nice case. Here, for example, we have the tool that is used to remove the tray, and following that, we have the case. This case is entirely transparent, fully flexible, and it features semi-rigid edges. In fact, these edges are a bit softer than I personally would have preferred. But anyway, this is the case we have. Now, it's your turn to let me know whether you would choose to use this device with a case or without one. The design of the back cover brings to mind the Huawei P, which had that distinctive Rococo finish. In this case, it also looks like it has some brush strokes with a shiny effect in some light angles. The truth is that aesthetically, yes, it is a very attractive device. In this edition that is called Lunar White color, it is also available in forest green color, which I don't really like how it looks, so I would prefer this edition in white color. And would you use it with a case or without a case? It retains a lot of its original design, although it includes this reflective surface that, in my opinion, isn't particularly appealing. Observe how when we take off the case, it becomes even more elegant by eliminating those reflections that might occur. Personally, I would prefer to use it without the case, but I would love to hear what you think. Now, let's take a look at what else is included here as we come across the cable and the charger directly. Note that the charger is a supercharged model supporting up to 35 watts. Also notice that its cable has a USB-A connector on one end and a USB-C connector on the other. It is not exactly a modern experience in this regard, however. You know that the charging power is something we will test more specifically during the review. As of now, we only know the data and the specifications, but sometimes the data can impress while the actual use might disappoint, so we should wait for the test to see if this case will surprise us or disappoint. For now, that is everything in the box. Let's focus directly on the cell phone to learn more about its specifications. So I've got the device set up, and let's get started with this specs walkthrough. We found a thickness of 8.24 millimeters and weighs 196 grams. I think it is not a device that seeks to be very thin or very light, but it is in the average for a smartphone. On the front, we do not find Gorilla Glass or Honor Shield glass, although the manufacturer promises that it has 5-star certification by the SGS. The SGS resist falls well, even with plastic frames, but we'll see. I'm not entirely convinced it's that resistant, but that's what the manufacturer has assured us. So In our review, we will conduct several drop tests to determine if it truly can withstand these types of accidents or not. It offers IP64, such as water and dust resistance, meaning it can handle splashes. In this instance, the manufacturer confidently states that it can endure a wash test for up to 3 minutes under running water. It can even withstand accidental rain exposure or falls into a pool. As they mentioned, it could be submerged for a minute at a depth of half a meter. Therefore, for these accidental drops, if you quickly retrieve the cell phone from the water, it should theoretically withstand at least that much. The screen measures 6.77 inches diagonally. However, do note that this is a fairly basic TFT panel with HD resolution, which is 1610 by 710 pixels. Therefore, if you tilt it slightly, the screen will noticeably lose brightness. It's not very impressive, and it offers a low level of detail. Typically, HONOR produces devices with OLED screens that are far more appealing. Below this model, you won't find screens as attractive. Fortunately, I believe the colors appear quite good, but the contrast and viewing angles might not be as impressive. However, to be honest, I wouldn't describe it as a particularly poor screen. I've encountered much more basic TFT screens before. In this instance, it mainly falls short in terms of contrast and the level of detail. In sound, we find stereo configuration with the speaker at the bottom, another in the earpiece area for calls, although I must say that the complementary speaker is really very weak. So yes, we have a somewhat wide sound, but it lacks power on this side and excels mainly in mid-frequencies, so the sound isn't that great. That's why I emphasized my earlier comment. Everything depends on the price you find it at. If you get it at a very low-end price, I think it will perform well and even exceed expectations in some cases. However, at approximately 6,000 Mexican pesos, I believe it's already lacking, particularly regarding the screen quality. The front camera features 8 megapixels with an f2.0 aperture and fixed focus. Let's take a look at the results. In the preview, it clearly doesn't look great, but afterwards it processes adequately. Nonetheless, there are still some areas that appear overexposed. You won't become a selfie expert with this, but I think again, depending on what price you find it at, it may turn out to be a decent experience. On the back, we find 108 megapixel main camera with aperture f1.75, autofocus but without optical stabilization, and the other is nothing more depth camera to assist portraits. Although it has a little circle here, it's just for decoration. So it only has 2 cameras, it doesn't have an ultra-wide camera, which I think is disappointing in the price range. But again, let's take a look at it. It provides us with quite saturated colors. If you prefer this kind of color rendition, you might enjoy how this device captures pictures. When applying a 2x zoom to achieve the perspective of 48mm, we notice it doesn't maintain 100% optical quality. Interestingly enough, at 3x it appears to have better detail at 72mm. This is something that generally occurs with 108 megapixel sensors. So the short range zoom I think is quite good and could even become one of its strongest points. The maximum zoom is 8x, and in this case I like that it is an honest zoom. It doesn't push the sensor to the max to do marketing by saying it would support 30x zoom or something like that. So 8x is the maximum, but it really still looks good quality. For video recording, we'll find Full HD as the maximum resolution, both front and back. So in this aspect, it's quite straightforward. However, similar to many other HONOR devices, the battery will stand out as a key feature. It boasts a capacity of 5,200 mAh, which is above the typical average found in the cell phone industry. Of course, it needs to be tested to get a somewhat clearer understanding of the potential consumption it might have. It comes with support for 35 watts charging, and the charger is conveniently included in the box. Within the system, we will encounter macOS 8, which unfortunately still lacks the most recent version. In this instance, it is based on Android 14. I believe this is somewhat disappointing for many users. Hopefully, it will soon receive a software update to bring it more up to date. As of now, it does seem less appealing in terms of software experience. Interestingly, in this case, it does feature the artificial intelligence eraser, which adds an appealing aspect to this cell phone. Let's attempt to erase a simple object to observe the experience. I believe it accurately detects when enclosing, and the work it performs appears to be correct in this case with an edit. It's quite simple. Now, let's attempt a significantly more complex edit and observe how effective the generative edit can be. This will be a great test of its capabilities. It takes a few seconds to work and observe, and I believe the padding has performed quite well. Look, for a device at the entry level, I think the job it accomplishes is rather impressive. And lastly, when we talk about the aspects that tech enthusiasts are most curious about regarding performance, we're going to discover that there are 8 GB of physical RAM included. I believe this will be quite beneficial, especially since it's paired with an additional 8 GB of virtual RAM. As you're probably aware, in the case of HONOR, their virtual RAM tends to perform effectively, which is not always the case with other brands. Most manufacturers offer items that are purely decorative. The internal storage is 256 gigabytes, providing ample capacity. But the processor is the older Snapdragon 685. Tech enthusiasts might be a bit let down by the inclusion of this outdated processor. Will surely support basic tasks still smoothly. I insist that the RAM issue could help it feel a bit more fluid, but in heavier tasks like gaming, video editing, and that sort of thing, it will really fall very short. Let's check the benchmarks. For example, in single core, it gave us 474 points, and in multi-core, 1,513 points. Regarding the graphics power, in Antutu got 3,70,651 points, staying really very low. Do you know that in the video review, we will do many more tests opening different applications so you can more or less see the performance it is able to achieve. In this case, I'm just opening some applications from the system so you can see that it's not really the fastest experience you've seen, but I insist for some basic users, it could still be a good experience. At this point, we have arrived at the conclusion of this video. I truly hope that you enjoyed watching it. We will have the video review prepared and ready very soon. So until then, see you next time.